Hey, what's up? Welcome to the podcast. Happy Valentine's Day. I got some emails and DMs for love advice again. We're doing the third love advice podcast, so let's get into your emails soon. We got Jacques Packagè on music. Sorry, Packagè. Sorry, it's pronounced Packagè. It's very, serious about that. So we're gonna have him play a song in a minute, and then we're gonna get into your emails. I'm gonna do some love advice. I have so many emails and DMs this year that we're gonna have to do a two-part podcast, I think. So tune in again next week for if I don't get to your love advice on this episode. Tune in again next week because I'm gonna get back to it and hopefully I can help you. And we got Jacques Packagè on a musical guest. Not sure what to expect. He's gonna play a song in a minute, and got some how-to content coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Some how-to content. I don't want to spoil what it is, but it's kind of dumb, but funny. So the podcast is back. I've got some friends that are going to come sit on the couch and talk to me. I think that's pretty much all the announcements. There's always comedy at Little Montreal on Friday nights. So, I guess, you ready, Jacques Packagè? You ready, buddy? Yes, but have you seen my chapeau? You need a second. Yeah, well, while he's getting ready, round of applause for Jacques Packagè for performing for us coming out. I'm not sure what to expect. Should be pretty fun. Apparently he's got a love song, I think. You ready? Yes, but they cannot find my Chapeau. And he's ready. Without further ado, Jacques Packagè. I need it from my song. Have you seen my Chapeau? Love your Chapeau. Have you seen my Chapeau? Regardez Chapeau. Regardez Chapeau. Have you seen my Chapeau? Yeah, round of applause for Jacques Packagè. What's that song called? Double Double? No, that was Chapeau. I need my Chapeau to play Double Double. If you have me next week, I will. I just want to say, like, I'm part French. I don't speak enough to have a conversation or, I guess, sing a song. But that song was in real French. Yeah, I'm gonna play. So we're gonna get into your emails. Like I said, we're gonna have to do a 2-part podcast to it because there's so many to get into, and a lot of them are so long. Yeah. So let's get into it. So this is the first one we're getting into. Yeah, let's start. I got tea and coffee because it's gonna be alright. My boyfriend slammed on the brakes so hard that I flew into the locked seatbelt in response to me commenting on his driving. How do I address this? It was a little rough being told by literally hundreds of people how bad of a situation this was. I think it was the wake-up call I needed, though. Oh, it's starting to sound positive. I was having a really hard time seeing the situation clearly. I knew his behavior was wrong, but I didn't have the language for what I was experiencing and didn't know what to do. A while later, I filled some of my friends and relatives in on the situation. Everyone agreed that his behavior was completely unacceptable. Everyone said he either needed some serious therapy and anger management, or we need to break up. Well, on Friday, I tried to ask him about the anger issues to see if he may be willing to seek help for it. He was extremely dismissive of it all, told me I was blowing things out of proportion, and excuse me, sorry, and even laughed at me when I suggested his aggression was a little scary. That was the last straw for me. Last night I told him I thought we should break up. What followed was an agonizing and painful 2 hours of crying and holding each other. He pleaded with me to stay, promised that he would be better for me, asked to do therapy, basically everything I had been wanting to hear from him for months. Well, that's good, if not years. I couldn't trust it though. I ended up taking my dog and going to a hotel where I'll be for a few days while we think about logistics of breaking up. It has been so incredibly hard, but I am feeling like I made the right decision. Several people expressed concern for me in the original situation, so I wanted to end on a positive note and let you know that I am okay and that I left. Okay, I'm not able to completely go no contact currently because of our shared living situation and dog, but I am taking steps to break away. Thank you, HK. If you feel that you made the right decision, then that's good. I'd say stay on that path, and you'll figure it out, right? And thanks for your email. But even if you do break away, if you think it's important for them to address those issues and get therapy or whatnot, maybe check in and see if that happens. I don't know. I hope that helps. Thanks for your email. I'm lost. My wife is now a gay witch. What? Let me proofread this one really quick. I don't want it to be offensive. Maybe we'll skip this one. Come back next week. Yeah, I'm gonna proofread the whole thing. Yeah, because none of these actually I didn't read them yet. So I'll make sure that, whoa, it's really long, and there's a lot in it. Okay, next one. Thank you for your email. I'll answer that one next week. Okay, next email. How can I ask my wife of 10 years to stop making jokes about oral sex? Hey, let's read it before I answer. We have an awesome relationship. Never fight, never yell. Never fight, no yelling or name calling. Lots of love and sex. It's a great marriage. I didn't need to know, but that sounds healthy. We love each other very much. I am utterly devoted to her. Well, that's good. We're not entirely compatible sexually. My interests in the realm are more broad than hers. The primary incompatibility is oral sex. I love to give and receive. She perfectly happy to receive, but never asks for it, and rarely reciprocates. If she does, it's never been longer than 2 minutes. I'm gonna pause because I feel like this email is more around sex than love advice, and it's for love advice. I don't. I guess I could do a podcast doing love advice or doing sex advice, but that's not what this is. This is love advice. So let me proofread it a little further. If it's mostly around sex, then maybe I'll skip this one too. Yeah, let's skip. But thanks for your email. Bye. Man. Do I want coffee or tea? I don't know. That's why I'm burping, because I'm drinking coffee and tea. Okay, next email. My girlfriend's farts smell rancid, and it's killing our sex life. Another email about sex and maybe farts. Hi, HK. My girlfriend recently has been having her horrible farts, specifically on weekends. This may just be because we typically go out for drinks and out to lunch or dinner on the weekend, but it is beginning to affect our sex life. Last night we were having sex after our night out, and she wouldn't stop farting. Gross. These farts smell like sulfur/propane, and it's getting to be a bit to the point where I can't hold an erection. Ew. When I get a whiff of it, How do I talk to her without making her feel bad? I think you just gotta be straight up, dude. I don't know. Just talk to her, man. Thank you for your email. Next email. Wife and I ran into her ex at the mall, and it sent me for a loop. Hi, HK. Never done anything like this before. Well, thanks for your email. Excuse me. Okay, if it goes anywhere, my wife and her friends watch your podcast. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, thanks to you, your wife, and her friends. Maybe I'm overthinking, maybe not, but something about this past weekend is just sitting weird with me. I don't know if I should trust my gut or if I'm just getting in my own head. It's a tough one. My wife, for some extra context, my wife and I have been together for 4 years, married for 5 months. We have a solid relationship, no real trust issues or anything like that. She's an amazing person and I love her endlessly. So, something about her that's important to this situation is she's always been one of those people who holds grudges forever. Wow. People do that? Hold grudges forever? Like, she's still mad about a girl stealing her seat in 9th grade if you cross her. She holds it against you forever. I think that's what makes this whole thing feel off. We were out shopping on Saturday at a mall. I guess there's more than one mall in your area. I'm just kidding. We were out shopping at a mall on Saturday at a mall, about an hour from home. Wow. At this point, the day was winding down and we were grabbing a bite to eat in the food court, and that's when we ran into Chris. Now, Chris is the ex she was with from 16 to 24. He's the only ex she ever really talks about, and every time she has it's been something negative. They fought a lot, they had a messy breakup, they were toxic, they cheated on each other, the whole 9 yards. We've lived in the same city as him our whole relationship, and other than a brief blip while dating, we've never once bumped into him. But we run into him an hour away from home on a random day at the mall, and her reaction just sent me for a loop. Wow. I was mid-sentence when I saw her eyes just lock onto something behind me, and immediately she lights up, big smile, before I even turn to see who it is. She's already standing up to greet him. Wow. She's already standing up to greet him, just beaming. They hug. They hug, and not even, and not just some quick oh hey hug. Like, it felt like it was so amazing to finally see you again. Hug. And then suddenly I'm just standing there, completely shut out of the conversation while they start catching up. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't even know who he was. I haven't seen him in years, and I had to piece it together as they chatted. I thought she'd introduce me, but nope. I just I'm just standing there while she laughs, fully engaged with him. Even some physical touching. At one point she shoved his arm playfully. It's not nice. I'm not a jealous person, and I honestly have zero problem with her being friends with whomever she chooses. But my impression of her relationship with him was different than what I was seeing. I figured I was overreacting or reading into it too much, too much into it. It, but I still felt a bit weird, like a third wheel, if I'm being honest. So I tried to hint that it was time to go by picking up our trays and making it clear I was ready. Neither of them noticed, so I walked off, tossed the trays, came back, still talking. They finally wrapped it up about a few more minutes, and after a few more minutes, and they hugged again, and then he was off. And then, without a single word about it, she just looks at me and goes, "Okay, let's stop at Lululemon and Indigo before we head out." Like nothing happened. I kept waiting for her to bring it up, say something about it, how weird it was, at least acknowledge him or their conversation in some way, but just she just acted like it was nothing. We shopped for another 45 minutes like nothing happened, and once we got in the car, I waited to see if she'd bring it up. She didn't. Small talk died off a few minutes after we got on the highway, and she was just glued to her phone. So I asked, "Who's she texting?" She says the group chat. That's her three best friends. Okay. I said, "What's the topic of conversation?" She smiled and said, "I'm telling them how crazy it is I ran into Chris." I just say, "Yeah, that's pretty wild." She agrees and says, "Insane, what are the chances?" And then she just kept texting. I, I kind of expected that to kick off our conversation, but it didn't. That night at home, after she'd been on her phone the majority of the night with the girls, still chatting about it, I decided to bring it up and told her how I felt like a bit of a third wheel when Chris showed up. Since she didn't introduce me, felt like I wasn't even there because she didn't introduce me. I feel you, dude. She lightheartedly said, "Oh, he knows who you are," then gave me a quick peck on the cheek. Now, I didn't exactly handle this great. I brought it up in a very lighthearted and non-serious tone. That's just how I deal with conflict, so it's 100% on me for not communicating when communicating where my head was at, and I can't fault her for being so nonchalant about it. I left it there for the night and thought I'd take another stab at it the next day once I'd had some time to process. But it's been days, and I still just feel really confused. And this whole thing, I'm really struggling to process how I'm feeling about it all and judging if I even have a right to be upset or to feel upset. Never run into an ex before. This is new territory. So this is new territory. So I'm sending you an email, HK. Honestly, not even sure this is the best way, but I hope it works. Wife and I ran into her ex-boyfriend at the mall. She was very friendly with him, and the whole interaction just felt weird. My wife doesn't seem to think it's anything worth talking about. I'm over processing to the 9th degree. Need advice, HK. Here's an update, HK. Wasn't sure if I should send another email. Oh, this was another email. So I should send another email. Uh, Her friend and I sat and talked, had a long talk. Is that her or her friend? Her and I sat and I'm pretty sure that's his wife's name. I don't want to say people's names in the podcast. And sat down and had a long talk. She was experiencing emotions similar to mine throughout the week. How can that be, you might ask, after sitting down and using a lot of the advice from friends here to a guideline to get my feelings out, namely the feelings of being lost and confused. We were able to get a email together. Okay, where is this going? So you were able to communicate with her, that's good. So do you need my help? Seems like you just wanted to tell the story. Well, thank you for your email. This is long, bro. She knew it was. Okay, so it should acknowledge it, send you through a loop. So much in the emails. I can predict already your advice, saying we're both communicators. I wasn't gonna say that. Did the same unhealthy thing, bottling up our feelings instead of just talking our. Okay, so you're wondering which path was better, to bottle up your feelings or talk? I would say, like, communicate with each other. Don't hide things. Yeah, that's my advice. Thank you for your email. Next email. Some of you give me so much information on these. Alright, next email. Nobody likes my boyfriend, and it's starting to affect my life. Okay. Me and my boyfriend have been dating a little over a year. We met at my workplace, in brackets I know, and you know what, and moved in together last July because of a financial situation. I had to move in with him, though I didn't feel quite ready. Things were good when we first met. I mean, the guy is a little strange, but I know that from the start and I knew that from the start and appreciated it. We had the same humor and got along. Oh, I got tea on my beard. We had the same humor and got along. And that's all that mattered to me. Yeah. Excuse me. I like having someone who is different than me to converse with. To preface, when my boyfriend is around, he's either very shut in playing games or very excited to show me a little Instagram meme and affection. However, when he began to meet my friends and family, he wouldn't put any effort in. He'd sit in the corner awkwardly, silent, often looking pissed. Wow. And wouldn't and wouldn't he wouldn't and it would pique everyone's interest. They either thought we were fighting or he was upset. My friends, family, and I played it off at first. Hey, maybe he's just super introverted, right? I never believed in love at first sight. So even though we started in a good place, but wasn't sure if I'd marry him. I thought we would learn, grow together, and get better instead our relationship has gone very downhill. Our differences have begun to become unbearable and unbearable to me. He's constantly quiet and reserved, and it comes off like he's pissed 24/7. Wow, maybe he is. I'm kidding. I don't know. I hope he's not. Although he always denies being upset, it's so hard to relate and talk to him when I'm very extroverted and he's being extremely quiet and indifferent. Lately, I have multiple of my friends that express that they think he doesn't like them because of the way he acts, and it seems that, hey, Pumpkin Spice, this is Pumpkin Spice. She'll be on Instagram soon. It seems that they don't want to be around him either. My family has asked me multiple times, "Are you sure about this one?" Which is disheartening to me because I value their opinion a lot. Yesterday was my birthday dinner, and my best friend brought a guy she's talking to. Today she confided in me that her guy was worried my boyfriend was racist because of the way he was acting and not trying to converse. The guy said he tried hard to talk to my boyfriend, but he just wouldn't engage. This really upset me because my boyfriend is definitely not racist, but always has this effing attitude. Everyone around my life that cares for me is expressing that they aren't sure about him for me because we are so different, and usually I wouldn't care, but it's starting to change my attitude towards him. I'm so scared to tell him that I don't have feelings anymore and want to separate because having differences doesn't feel like a valid reason to break up. Last month I tried to tell him that I want to live separately when our lease ends because living alone is something I value, and I particularly forced him to move in. Where am I? I particularly, I was, I was particularly forced to move in with him due to finances. He cried and said he wouldn't have anywhere to go if I moved out, so I settled by having different bedrooms in the same house. When we move out, I know where this story ends, obviously, and the obvious solution is to break up. But I don't know how to navigate it, and I don't want to hurt him. I know I have to, but I have to have a huge problem with whom I have a huge problem with, oh, I'm just skipping a line, with tense situations like these. I am avoidant to, I am so avoidant to hurt him that I contemplate moving back home as an excuse to break up with him. But I realize that that would just ruin everything going for me right now. Any advice, HK? I just don't know who else to talk to. You give good love advice. I've seen your other podcasts. Thank you. If your intention, I'd say if you're trying to break up, then communicate that. And um, there's a lot of talking and communicating that's hard, but it's worth it. It's worth it when you figure out the right way to communicate, you know? So thank you for your email. I hope I helped you. Next email. Say hi to Pumpkin Spice. Say hi to Pumpkin Spice on the podcast. Did I go too far? Yeah, okay. Next email. Yeah, that one a lot. We'll do that one in the next part too as well. Ooh, yeah, lots and lots. Thank you for all your emails. This is crazy. We'll do one more and then do another song with Jacques Packagè and end the podcast. And we'll go back to your emails next week. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's a two-part email, that one. Where's the beginning? For this email, click on this one. Okay, this one's a two-part email too. Thank you so much for all your emails. Thank you for all your emails. We will love advice. Yeah, that's gonna be long. We'll come back. Yeah, we'll come back to this. I think I have like 3 long emails to read. 3 different long emails, so we can, I'll proofread them quick before next week's pod. Thank you for all your emails. I hope I helped you. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. We got Jacques Packagè still here. I'm not sure what he's doing next. He's gonna do one more song and then we're gonna sign off. Jacques Packagè. One more. The package, and you don't. I got the package, and you don't. I got the package, and you don't. I got one in the mail the other day. What are the odds? Congratulations. Yeah, Jacques Packagè. Musical guest. Yeah. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Thanks for all the emails. Yeah. Jacques Packagè on the music, thank you. I'm not sure how he got clearance to be on the show, but thanks, we're glad we had you. And a round of applause for Pumpkin Spice, yeah. Pumpkin Spice. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Thank you for your emails. Happy Valentine's Day. And see you next week. See you in some how-to content soon. I'll see you on Friday at Little Montreal. Hey, today's Friday. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your emails.